Magandang GenSan sa inyo lahat. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bread of Life Sunday online streaming. I'd like to welcome you, lahat po kayo nanonood sa ibang bahagi po ng Pilipinas. A warm welcome to all of you, as well to those who are watching in America, Canada, Australia, Europe, Middle East, and other parts of Asia. Muli po kung nag-request sa inyo to please indicate kung saan po kayo nanonood. And again, follow and like our Facebook page and share this broadcast. If you feel somehow baka itong broadcast natin makatulong sa isang tao, kamag-anak, kaibigan na inyo pong kakilala, share this link. And again, we will be asking you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be able to watch all our other previews broadcast. And also, we would appreciate if you could write a comment as we are going on sa ating po message. Write something, an insight that you're learning so far along the way, and write an amen or write an emoji as well para po nakakita mo namin kung ano po ang nagiging tulong ng mensahe sa inyo po. Today we will continue our study on the topic obstacle becomes the way. Ang source po natin ay si Ryan Holiday from the book The Obstacle is the Way. And majority po ng aking tinatalakay ay nanggagaling po dun sa libro na yon. And so umpisa po sa page 9 po ng portion na to. Kinote po ni Ryan Holiday si Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, who said, "Objective judgment now at this very moment, unselfish action now at this very moment, willing acceptance now at this very moment of all external events, that's all you need." Yun po ang kanyang payo ni Marcus Aurelius sa kanyang mga pagtuturo. And tinuloy po ni Ryan Holiday at kinonceptualize po niya yung statement na yon. Pagkasulat ni Ryan, overcoming obstacles is a discipline of 3 critical steps. It begins with how we look at our specific problems, our attitude or approach. Then, the energy and creativity with which we actively break down and turn them into opportunities. Finally, the cultivation and maintenance of an inner will that allows us to handle defeat and difficulty. It is 3 interdependent, interconnected, and fluidly contingent disciplines, which are, sulat ni Ryan, perception, action, and the will. It's a simple process, but again, never easy. Sulat niya, from the stories of the practitioners, we'll learn how to handle common obstacles, whether we're locked out or hemmed in, the kind of obstacles that have impeded people for all time, and how to apply their general approach to our lives. Because obstacles, sabi niya, are not only to be expected but embraced. Embraced? Yes, because these obstacles are actually opportunities to test ourselves, to try new things, and ultimately to triumph. So, let's go. We will tackle first perception. Look at this picture. It's a picture of Prince William giving the middle finger, or sa local na term, diba? Parang dirty finger. Prior to really tackling that, let me define what perception is. Perception is how we see things, how we see and understand what occurs around us, and what we decide those events will mean. Perception, ano yung nakita ko? Ano yung pagkaintindi ko sa nangyari? And then makaka-decide ako anong magiging kahulugan yan para sa akin buhay. Our perceptions can be a source of strength or of great weakness. If we are emotional, subjective, and short-sighted, we only add to our troubles. To prevent becoming overwhelmed by the world around us, we must learn how to limit our passions and their control over our lives. It takes skill and discipline, no, to bat away the pest of bad perceptions. Pag mali ang pananaw natin, no, mali ang signal na kumbaga nakukuha natin, hindi natin na-filter out ang prejudice, expectation, and fear. Pero pag na-filter out natin yung mga bagay na nasala natin sa tamang perception, ang matitira sa atin ay katotohanan. No? Proverbs chapter 1 verses 2 to 4 reads, to know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Yun po ang purpose ng pagkasulat ni Solomon, King Solomon, ng the Book of Proverbs. Yan po ang dahilan kung bakit niya gumawa siya ng mga salawikain, mga statements, mga sayings na practical po na na-apply po sa buhay. Dahil may gamit po, may dahilan po. So para bang, ang sinasabi ko po ay sana ma-discern natin. Magkaroon tayo ng tamang perception sa mga situations na nangyayari sa ating buhay. So, kung babalikan natin yung picture, 'di ba, ni Prince William na nag-sign ng middle finger, giving the middle finger, pero pag ibang angulo mo siya pinanood, nakita at picture, ito po actually nakasenya siya ng tree. Hindi siya nag-naughty finger or dirty finger. Kaya you will notice sa isang side akala mo ganito. Pero pagka sa tamang side ka tumingin, sa tamang position, sa tamang matama ang iyong perception, makikita mo ay hindi naman pala siya bastos. No, yun ang kahalagahan ng perception. No, while others are excited or afraid, no, we will remain calm and steady. We will see things simply and straightforwardly as they truly are. Kung ano talaga siya, neither good nor bad. And this will be an incredible advantage for us in the fight against obstacles, most especially the great coronavirus obstacle that we're facing now. Another picture, look at this. Ito'y social distancing. Kaya minsan mo sa harap, medyo hiwa-hiwalay sila, pero sa likod parang nagdidikit-dikit na sila. No? Kaya lang, pag tinignan mo naman sa side, again, sa tamang perspective mo siya or tamang lugar mo siya titingnan, magkakahiwalay pa rin naman pala sila. No? Kaya, ganun kahalaga. No? Kasi sa isang tingin, akala mo, hindi sila sumusunod. Pero pag sa tamang posisyon ka tumingin, tamang lugar, ayun pala, ito makikita mo yung talagang tama. Let me show you a video clip of a guy named Steven Clonch. Nagbigay siya ng statement ng na ginawa po itong video, ginawa po na isang animation. Pero original, nagsalita siya sa TED Talk. So, he was talking about overcoming obstacles. So, let's watch the video.
As you can see, I was born without fingers on my right hand, and also my right leg was several inches shorter than my left one. They broke the bones in the leg, then they screwed metal spikes into the bone. It has not only spikes but wires that go all the way through the leg to stabilize it. I have to walk on it. I have to stretch it out so that my muscles don't just get all atrophied. People always ask me, does it hurt? Yes, it does. But I focus on what I can do, not on what I cannot do. I want to talk with you guys about overcoming obstacles. Everybody has obstacles, a disability, a hurdle. We face a choice. Let the obstacle overcome you or overcome the obstacle. Maybe some of you have heard of Jim Abbott. He was a Major League Baseball player. He won a gold medal in the Olympics. He played for the Yankees, the Angels, but he threw a no-hitter and he only had one arm. When he was a kid, he came home mad one time and told his dad, "The kids won't let me play baseball because I only have one hand." His dad replied, "No, the kids won't let you play baseball because you stink at baseball." You can't change the fact that you only have one hand, but you can change the fact that you stink. So his dad began to practice with him, and he got good. He overcame obstacles. Teams would try to exploit his weak side. They would try to bunt to the side that he had a missing arm. But they never succeeded because he practiced and practiced fielding bunts to that side. There is no dishonor in having a disability, and I won't let anyone diss my ability, but I don't want anyone's pity either. I will not use the obstacles I face as an excuse for having a pity party. I will practice harder, play harder, and push myself harder to keep getting better. Last season, I started on my varsity high school basketball team as a freshman, and I won Rookie of the Year. I was one of the top scorers on the team. So one of the things that I find funny is that people judge me by appearance. They say, "Oh, look at this one-handed whitey with the limp. I don't want him on my team, you know." But what they don't know is that I don't just have a disability, I have an ability. One of my favorite moments from this last season was we played a team that we had never played before. And when the game started, you could tell that they were dissing my disability. I mean, they double-teamed our tallest player. They just were playing really soft on me. And you could tell, they thought, what can this guy with one hand do? So they left me open for a three. I made that one. They left me open for another one. I made that one. Then they started to get frustrated, so they actually fouled me. I made both free throws. And they called timeout. And as we were in the huddle, I could hear the other coach yelling at his players about me. They went from not covering me at all to double teaming me. It's all about overcoming obstacles. It's true, I have a disability, but so do you. I also have an ability, so do you. Everyone has obstacles to overcome. Some are visible like mine. Some are less visible. Maybe your obstacle is that you come from a poor neighborhood. Maybe people say you'll never amount to anything. Prove them wrong. Maybe your obstacle is that you have a learning disability and people think that you're dumb. Prove them wrong. Maybe people judge you because of the color of your skin or your family background. Prove them wrong. I know a lot of people who take one look at me and judge me. They say, "Oh, that kid can't be any good at basketball. One leg, one hand." If someone thinks you can overcome the obstacles, prove them wrong.
Okay, you will notice, let me just show you a picture. Ito, latter, mas bata-bata pa siya dun sa video niya, pero ito na siya. Ito, kita niyo yung kanang kamay niya. No? So, hindi talaga fully formed yung mga fingers niya. Dito sa susunod na picture, ay isa pong yung kanang paa niya, makikita natin na parang may bandage. At saka yung third, yung kino-quote niya, sinabi niya na Ilisarov, external fixators. Yan po yung parang nag-i-stretch sa paa niya at saka nagko-control, kumbaga nagsusupport. So imagine yung pong, kumbaga nakakabit sa kanya. So medyo mahirap po talaga. And so, binabanggit niya, isang portion binabanggit niya, itong magiging pananaw, itong tingin sa iyo ng mga tao, akala nila wala kang magagawa. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. No matter what your situation in life, and people will judge you by the way you look, prove them wrong. Ipakita mo na meron kang kakayanan. At talaga naman may kakayanan tayo. So far, if you are being touched, so dun sa video na yan po, kung merong mensahe na kayo na nakukuha po, write down. Ano pong insights na inyo na nadadama na napakitungo po sa inyo ngayong araw na ito. So, we will look at the discipline of perception. Now, Ryan Holiday continued by sharing a story of John D. Rockefeller. Before he was an oil man, John D. Rockefeller was a bookkeeper, an aspiring investor, a small-time financier in Cleveland, Ohio. The son of a criminal who had abandoned his family, the young Rockefeller took his job in 1855 at the age of 16, a day he celebrated as job day for the rest of his life. All was well enough at 50 cents a day. Yun lang ang sahod niya. Well, anyway, tagal na naman, 1855 pa yon. Then, panic struck. Specifically, the panic of 1857. So, after 2 years pa lang siya nagtatrabaho, a massive national financial crisis that originated in Ohio and hit Cleveland particularly hard. As businesses failed and the price of grain plummeted across the country, westward expansion quickly came to a halt. The result was a crippling depression that lasted for several years. Grabe, taon inabot. Rockefeller could have gotten scared. Here was the greatest market depression in history during that time, and it hit him just as he was finally getting the hang of things. Hang of things. Kumbaga, medyo nakukuha na sana niya. He could have pulled out and run like his father. He could have quit finance altogether for a different career with less risk, but even as a young man, Rockefeller had sang-froid or self-assurance, unflappable coolness under pressure. He could keep his head while he was losing his shirt. Better yet, he kept his head while everyone else lost theirs. And so instead of bemoaning, lamenting, grumbling, complaining this economic upheaval, Rockefeller eagerly observed the momentous events. Almost perversely, he chose to look at it all as an opportunity to learn about baptism in the market. Notice, perception. Anong pananaw niya? Anong tingin niya doon? Sa panic na yon ng 1957, he quietly saved his money and watched what others did wrong. He saw the weaknesses in the economy that many took for granted and how this left them all unprepared for change or shocks. He internalized an important lesson, that would stay with him forever. The market was inherently unpredictable and often vicious. Only the rational and disciplined mind could cope to profit from it. Speculation led to disaster, he realized, and he needed to always ignore the mad crowd and its inclinations. So, wag siyang padadala sa crowd. Yun po yung mga natutukan niya doon sa obstacle po na yon. Naging opportunity sa kanya. Why? Tamang perception. Rockefeller immediately put those insights to use. At 25, a group of investors offered to invest approximately $500,000 at his direction if he could find the right oil wells in which to deploy the money. Grateful for the opportunity, Rockefeller set out to tour the nearby oil fields. A few days later, he shocked his backers by returning to Cleveland empty-handed, not having spent or invested a dollar of the funds. The opportunity didn't feel right to him at the time, no matter how excited the rest of the market was, so he refunded the money and stayed away from drilling. Pakiramdam niya, pinag-aralan niya, pinagbasdan niya mabuti yung market sa oil during that time. Hindi pa panahon. It was this intense self-discipline and objectivity that allowed Rockefeller to seize advantage from obstacle after obstacle in his life during the Civil War and the panics of 1873, 1907, and 1929. As he once put it, he was inclined to see the opportunity in every disaster. Yun ang pananaw niya, see opportunity in every disaster. Yun ang kanyang perception. To that, we could add, he had the strength to resist temptation or excitement, no matter how seductive, no matter the situation. Within 20 years of that first crisis, Rockefeller would alone control 90% of the oil market. His greedy competitors had perished. His nervous colleagues had sold their shares and left the business. His weak-hearted doubters had missed out. Grabe, nakuha niya yung timing. Kaya siya yung pinakamalaking, market ng oil. For the rest of his life, the greater the chaos, the calmer Rockefeller would become, particularly when others around him were either panicked or mad with greed. He would make much of his fortune during these market fluctuations because he could see while others could not. Meron siya nakikita, yung iba hindi makuha. No? Yung iba nagmadali na una, hindi siya timing. Kalmado lang siya. Marunong siyang maghintay. Rockefeller, like all great investors, could resist impulse in favor of cold, hard common sense. Kaya, ang laki po ng kinita niya. And, one critic nga, in all of Rockefeller's empire, described the Standard Oil, yun ang naging pangalan ng kanyang oil company, Standard Oil Trust, as a mythical protean creature capable of metamorphosing with every attempt by the competitors or the government to dismantle it. Grabe, nag-a-adjust. No? They meant it as a criticism, but it was actually a function of Rockefeller's personality. Resilient, adaptable, calm, brilliant. He could not be rattled. Di siya natataranta. Not by economic crisis, not by a glitter image of false opportunities, not by aggressive bullying enemies, not even by federal prosecutors. Hindi nila, kumbaga, matibag siya. Steady po siya. Was he born that way? No. This was learned behavior. And Rockefeller got this lesson in discipline somewhere. It began in the crisis of 1857 in what he called the School of Adversity and Stress. Notice, anong tawag niya sa panic? Anong tawag niya sa time ng depression? Di, eskwelahan. School of Adversity and Stress. Look at what he said. No? Oh, how blessed young men are who have to struggle for a foundation and beginning in life. I shall never cease to be grateful for the 3.5 years of apprenticeship and the difficulties to be overcome all along the way. Gabi, papasalamat pa siya doon sa mga difficulties, sa mga trahedya na kanyang nadaanan. Why? Tama ang perception niya. Marami naman sumabay na nahirapan eh. Many people experience the same perilous times as Rockefeller. They all attended the same school of bad times, but few reacted as he did. Not many had trained themselves to see opportunity inside this obstacle. That what befell them was not unsalvageable misfortune, but the gift of education, had chance to learn from a rare moment in economic history, to see opportunity inside this obstacle. That's perception. Yun ang Rockefeller eh. Kaya siya umangat, natama ang perception niya sa situation na kanyang dinaanan. Nagsisimula ka pa lang, 2 years pa lang, nag-umpisa sa business, biglang panic na, depression na. Hindi na give up. No, you and I will come across obstacles in life, fair and unfair. And you will discover time and time again, look at this, what matters most is not what these obstacles are, but how we see them, how we react to them, and whether we keep our composure. No, yun po yan po si Rockefeller. Tama yung nakita niya, tama yung pananaw niya, tama yung reaction niya, kalmado. Naging kalmado lang siya. And once we learn that, we will be able to overcome, we will be successful in overcoming and even thriving sa anumang sitwasyon natin. Paul wrote this, 2 Corinthians 4, verses 16 to 18. Again, itong 2 Corinthians is parang biography, autobiography ni Paul ito sa kanyang mga experiences. Pero ito pong portion na sinulat niya. Therefore, we do not give up. Even though our outer person is being destroyed, our inner person is being renewed day by day. For our momentary light affliction is producing for us an absolutely incomparable eternal weight of glory. So, we do not focus on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Grabe, notice ang verse 17, anong pananaw ni Paul sa affliction? Momentary, light affliction. Panandalian lang yan. Magaang lang na affliction. Hindi, ang bigat po ng mga dinaanan ni Paul, pero sa kanyang pananaw niya, magaang lang yan. Magaang lang yung sitwasyon na yan. Pero kung titingnan mo, grabe, bigat na hirap na yung mga dinaanan niya. So when one person sees a crisis, another person sees an opportunity. When one is blinded by success, another sees reality with ruthless objectivity. When one loses control of emotions, another can remain calm. That's why desperation, despair, fear, powerlessness, these are reactions, mga functions yan ng ating perceptions. Kaya, either tama o mali ang ating perception. We must realize nothing makes us feel this way. We choose to give in to such feelings. Or like Rockefeller, choose not to. Tayo nag-give in sa mga feelings na ganoon. No? Do we give in to those situations in our life? Kaya, sabi tayo, one incident in the life of Christ, Mark wrote, chapter 2, verse 8, and immediately Jesus, perceiving in his spirit that they thus question within themselves, said to them, why do you question these things in your hearts? No? Tama ang pananaw Jesus dito sa mga religious leaders na to, kaya siya na nauna. Bakit kayo nagka-question ng ganyan? Kasi itong mga religious leaders, mali ang pananaw sa mga ginagawa ni Jesus. So kaya nararamdaman alam na ni Jesus kung ano mga tanong nila. Tanong na, of course, dahil mali ang kanilang pagtingin kay Jesus eh. That's why, si Jesus, basa ni Jesus sila eh. Basa ni Jesus yung kanilang mga pananaw, basa ni Jesus yung kanilang mga attitude sa buhay. As outward appearances are deceptive. What's within them, beneath them is what matters. We can learn to perceive things differently to cut through the illusions that others believe or fear. We can stop seeing the problems in front of us as problems. Ang problema ay hindi yung problema. As you will see later on in a video, another video that I'm gonna show you. We need to learn to focus on what things really are. Ano ba talaga yung we need to learn, we need to be given the wisdom, we need to understand, matuto tayong basahin ng tama ang sitwasyon. Too often we react emotionally, get hopeless, and lose our perspective. And so all that does is turn bad things into more bad things. Unhelpful perceptions can invade our minds, that sacred place of reason, action, and will, and throw us off our compass. Nawawalan tayo ng direksyon sa buhay. Kaya, kailangan tamang perception sa buhay. Of course, we have a choice about how we respond to situations. Ano bang reaction mo sa coronavirus? Ano ang pananaw natin dito? Ano magiging response natin? We can be blindly led by our feelings, or we can understand them and learn to filter them. Ryan Holiday also wrote, let me show this to you. Discipline in perception lets you clearly see the advantage and the proper course of action in every situation without the pestilence of panic or fear. Pag nadisiplina ang perception, pag natama ang perception, makikita mo ang gamit ng mga nangyayari sa at tamang reaksyon at tamang aksyon. Kaya rational ang pagtingin, objective, hindi lang subjective, hindi lang yung sa pakiramdam lang, emotionally lang. We can see opportunity in every disaster, transform the negative situation into an education, and later on a fortune. Seeing properly everything that happens, tamang pagtingin sa talagang nangyayari. no, sa ating sitwasyon. Preston Smiles created a video clip entitled The Power of Perception. Change your perspective, change your life. Let's watch this video.
The power of perception. You see, how you perceive a thing determines how you receive a thing. And how you receive determines on whether you'll receive again. You see, the problem isn't the problem. Your attitude, your philosophy is the problem. You see, some people spend most of their time talking about and worshiping the problem than they do on the solution. But what you focus on, you grant reality into your life. You see, Tammy and Susie drive into the same parking lot every Monday through Friday and go to the same job, but Susie is upset about the health benefits, about the air conditioning, about the politics in the office, while Tammy is excited that she gets to have a job, that she gets to pay her bills, that she gets to take her kids to Disneyland with the bonus that she gets every 4 months. You see, what Susie is upset about, Tammy is grateful for. But your outlook determines your outcome, and how you receive a thing determines on whether you receive it again. So 6 months later, Susie was let go while Tammy was promoted. You see, a lot of people talk about, and guys, get this, if you get this, it will change your life forever. A lot of people talk about being single, and they have the perception and the belief that all the good ones are taken, while somebody else with a different perspective has the belief and they come from of, wow, look at all this time I have to build myself up before my one comes. How you receive a thing determines on whether you receive it again. And what you focus on expands, you grant it, you put it in your reality. So if you're perceiving and receiving negativity, then that's exactly what you're going to get in your life, all day, every day. You see, some people see the word impossible while others see I'm possible. And what I'm challenging you to do is to step into that space. Step into the space of I'm possible. Everything is possible. Because it is. You see, the power of perception will change your entire life. You can either be in heaven or hell right where you are standing based on what you're perceiving. And I challenge you right now, today, to take another look at all of the stuff you've been complaining about. Take another look. Reframe and take another look at the bills that you're so upset about, because you get to pay them. You have the money to pay your bills, but yet you're upset about them? You created everything in your reality. And if you did, that means you get to be grateful for it. The only way to get more is to be more. And the only way to be more is to become grateful for everything that is.
Ang ganda ng insights, Ang ganda ng example. How you perceive a thing determines how you will receive. And how you receive determines on whether you will receive it again. Ang galing ng pananaw. So, perception. Sa tamang pananaw. The problem isn't the problem. It's your attitude. It's your philosophy, which is the problem, maling philosophy. At ang ganda ng example, both Tommy and Susie working in the same place, pero what Susie is upset about, Tommy is grateful for. Grabe, kung ano yung, para bang, notice again, it's attitude. Attitude to life. It's yung perception. Ano bang tingin mo? Anong perception mo dito sa situation mo? Grabe ba? Masisira ka na. Wala ka na bang ikakaangat? No? Again, write something. In the comment box, if you sense God is talking to you sa insights na nabibigay sa inyo nitong so far ng ating broadcast, write. So we can learn from you as well. we can know what God is doing in your life at this point, ano. So let's look at kung pag-aralan pa natin itong perspective na to or perception na to, let's look at some strategies ano para matama ang ating perception. Number one, recognize your power. Again, Marcus Aurelius wrote, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Ha? Okay, grabe yung pananaw. No? Ryan Holiday shared a story of Ruben Hurricane Carter, a top contender for the middleweight title at the height of his boxing career in mid-1960s, was wrongly accused of a horrific crime he did not commit. No, dalawa silang magkasama at nag-triple homicide. He went on trial and a biased, bogus verdict followed, 3 life sentences. It was a dizzying fall from the heights of success and fame. No? So, anong ginawa ni Carter? No? Carter reported to prison in an expensive, tailored suit, wearing a $5,000 diamond ring and a gold watch. And so, waiting in line to be entered into the general inmate population, he asked to speak to someone in charge. Huh? You will see yung pananaw, yung perception ito sa kanyang sitwasyon. So, allow me just to show a video clip of kasi yung galing naman sa movie yun, The Hurricane by si Denzel Washington ang gumanap na Carter diyan. So, panoorin lang natin yung portion ng sentensya niya at saka yung pagpasok niya at kausap niya yung warden.
All rise. Court will come to order. The Honorable Judge Larner presiding. Be seated. The defendants will rise. Reuben Carter, although you still contend you are not guilty of the crimes charged against you, you were afforded a full and fair trial by a jury of your peers. Have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor. We, the jury, find the defendants, Reuben Carter and John Artis, guilty on all counts.
No! He did it! Order! The bailiff will see to it that order prevails. Reuben Carter, John Artis, for the murder of James Oliver, it is the court's sentence that you be imprisoned for the remainder of your natural life. Second count, the murder of Fred Nyack. You are sentenced to be imprisoned for the remainder of your natural life. As to the third count, involving the murder of Hazel Tanis, it is the sentence of this court that you be imprisoned for the remainder of your natural life. Your clothes, your shoes, your ring, your watch, and whatever else you've got in that bag. You are being issued a standard inmate uniform with your numbers sewn on it so that we can identify you immediately. Then you go to have your facial hair shaved. You know the rules.
No, I can't do it, Warden.
I beg your pardon.
I cannot do it. Look, you have legal custody over my body, but I'm innocent. I've committed no crime. The crime's been committed against me. And I will not wear the clothes of a guilty man. I'll go anywhere you want me to go in this penitentiary, Warden. But you let it be known in no uncertain terms that any man who tries to put his hands on me.
This place is where we tell you the rules. You hear that? Do you understand me? Do you? Because if you do, you had better strip right now and put on that fucking uniform.
I can't do that.
Put this man in the hole. Give him sufficient time to reflect on how he intends to behave in this institution. 90 days.
Grabe, no? Grabe yung parang ang tapang. ano pang siya ang gumagawa ng regulasyon para sa sarili niya. Parang hindi ako papasakop sa inyong regulasyon. No? Kumbaga, looking in the warden in the eye, Carter proceeded to inform him and the guards that he was not giving up the last thing he controlled. Ano yun? Himself. No? Ano yung declaration niya? Ito yung nakasulat sa libro ni Ryan Holiday, Obstacle is the Way. Ang pagkasabi sa libro ni Carter, I know you had nothing to do with the injustice that brought me to this jail. So I'm not willing to stay here until I get out. Wala ka namang kasalanan. Kaya lang, I'm willing to stay hanggang sa makalaya ako. But I will not under any circumstances be treated like a prisoner because I'm not and never will be powerless. Grabe, no? Siya yung bilanggo, siya yung nakahandcuff, siya yung ikukulong, siya pa yung seemingly parang mas makapangyarihan. Hindi siya powerless. Wala siyang kapangyarihan, totoo, pero hindi siya powerless. Instead of breaking down, Carter declined to surrender the freedoms that were innately his attitude, his beliefs, his choices. Yun yung kalayaan niya na pwede niya pa rin magawa kahit nasa loob siya ng bilangguan. Whether they threw him in prison or threw him in solitary confinement for weeks on end, Carter maintained that he still had choices that could not be taken from him even though his physical freedom had been. Kaya kapapasok pa lang 90 days na. Was he angry about what happened? Of course. He was furious. But understanding that anger was not constructive, he refused to rage. He refused to break or grovel or despair. He would not wear a uniform, eat prison food, accept visitors, attend parole hearings, or work in the commissary to reduce his sentence. And he wouldn't be touched. No one could lay a hand on him unless they wanted a fight. No, all of this had a purpose. Every second of his energy was to be spent on his legal case. Every waking minute was spent reading law books, philosophy, history. They hadn't ruined his life. No, they just put him somewhere he didn't deserve to be, and he did not intend to stay there. He would learn and read and make the most of the time he had on his hands. He would leave prison not only a free and innocent man, but a better and improved one. Grabe, yung pananaw niya. Ginamit niya yung kanyang bilangguan, hindi magmukmuk, mambugbog na lang. Kundi talagang kapakipakinabang sa kanya. And how long it took? It took 19 years and 2 trials to overrun or overturn that verdict. But when Carter walked out of prison, he simply resumed his life. no civil suit to recover damages. Carter did not even request an apology from the court, because to him that would imply that they had taken something of his that Carter felt he was owed, that had never been his view. Even in the dark depths of solitary confinement, he had made his choice. This cannot harm me. I might not have wanted it to happen, but I decide how it will affect me. No one else has the right. Grabe, sobrang tindi ng pananaw. Siya yung may kapangyarihan, hawak niya. So, every one of us decide what we will make of each of in every situation eh. Kayo, ako, nagde-decide. O, maaring pare-parehas may parehas tayong daanan, o may konting kakaibahan, pero the decision, kanya-kanya pa rin. We decide whether we will break or whether we will resist. We decide whether we will assent or reject. No one can force us to give up or to believe something that is untrue. Tayo, sarili natin. That's why Ryan Holiday wrote, our perceptions are the thing that we're in complete control of. No? Itapon ka man sa bilangguan, i-label ka man, i-deprive ka of your possessions, but they'll never control our thoughts, our beliefs, our reactions. Tayo yun. John 19, verses 9 to 11. And he, which is Pilate, went back inside the palace. Where do you come from? He asked Jesus. But Jesus gave him no answer. Do you refuse to speak to me? Pilate said. Don't you realize I have power either to free you or to crucify you? Jesus answered, you would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. Notice ito, si Jesus nung under trial siya, under Pilate, hindi sumasagot si Jesus, tahimik lang. Sabi ni Pilate, hindi mo ba alam, may kapangyarihan ako sa iyo, sa buhay mo, pwede kitang i-declare na patayin ka na lang. Wala kang kapangyarihan sa akin. That's the same thing with, Reuben Carter. Powerless yung obstacle sa kanya. Because even in prison, deprived of nearly everything, some freedoms remain. Your mind remains your own. Carter did not have much power, but he understood that that was not the same thing as being powerless. Marami rin mga ganyan. Kagaya ni Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, have come to understand this fundamental distinction. It's how they turned prison into the workshop where they transformed themselves and the schoolhouse where they began to transform others. Wala ito doon sa libro. There's a story about Nelson Mandela. Sinabi niya, after I became president, I asked one day some members of my close protection to stroll with me in the city, have lunch at one of its restaurants. So gusto niya kampante lang na simpleng restaurant. We sat in one of the downtown restaurants and all of us asked for some sort of food. After a while, the waiter brought us our request. I noticed that there is someone sitting in front of my table waiting for food. I told then one of the guards or the soldiers, go and ask that person to join us with this food and eat with us. And so the soldier went, tinanong yung ama, and the man brought up his food and sat by my side as I asked and began to eat. His hands were trembling constantly until everyone had finished their food. And the man went. Malis na yung mama. And the soldier said to me, the man was apparently quite sick. His hands trembled as he ate. May sakit siguro. Nanginginig ng kamay eh. Sabi ni Mandela, no, not at all. Bakit? Paano? Kilala mo ba yon? Sabi niya, that man was the guard of the prison where I was jailed. Often after the torture I was subjected to, I used to scream and ask for a little water. Hingi ako ng tubig. And that same man used to come every time and urinate on my head instead. Instead ako bigyan ng tubig, iniihian ako. So I found him scared, trembling, expecting me to reciprocate now, at least in the same way, either by torturing him or imprisoning him as I am now the President of the state of South Africa. And Nelson Mandela concluded dun sa kanyang story niya, look at this, but this is not my character, not part of my ethics. Hindi ako ganun eh. The mentality of retaliation destroys states, while the mentality of tolerance builds nations. Yun si Nelson Mandela. Yun siya, kaya siya panalong presidente. In spite na nakulong siya, at nakalaya na siya, hindi siya gumante. Ano mga experiences yung ganyan? Meron ba kayo? Write something short. Or write in our Facebook. Para kwento nyo po. Kwento nyo yung mga karanasan ninyo sa inyong buhay na ganun din ang nangyari sa inyo. Kaya gusto natin malaman ang inyong ang mga sitwasyon ng mga dinaanan nyo sa inyong buhay. Ryan Holiday continued, nothing we will experience is likely without potential benefit. Grabe, no? May benepisyo para sa iyo eh. No? We can step back and remember that situations by themselves cannot be good or bad. Through our perception of events, we are complicit in the creation as well as the destruction of every one of our obstacles. Kasama ka, kabahagi ka, either maka-create or maka-destroy, maka-distract, makasira sa lahat ng mga obstacles na dinadaanan natin sa ating buhay. There is no good or bad without us. There is only perception. There is the event itself and the story we tell ourselves about what it means. Ano yung istorya sa buhay ko? Anong istorya mo ngayon dahil sa coronavirus? Anong pagkilos ng Diyos sa iyong buhay? No? We decide what story to tell ourselves or whether we will tell one at all. Welcome to the power of perception. Kaya applicable ito sa lahat ng sitwasyon eh. In every situation we encounter, it's impossible to obstruct kapag katamang perception. It can only be relinquished and that is your decision. Kaya right perception is very important na pati sa relationships eh. Di ba? Minsan, minasabi isa, mali ang tanggap natin. Merong kinilos yung isa, may inaksyon, hindi natin naintindihan completely. Di ba? Nagkakagulo-gulo. No? Proverbs 18 verse 17, the first to state his case seems right until another comes and cross-examines him. Di ba, pagka may lumapit sa iyo, lumapit ang anak mo sa iyo, lumapit ka sa magulang mo, or lumapit ka sa anak mo, ganyan, kaibigan, kapatid, di ba? Pag pinakinggan mo, minsan parang tama lahat yung sinasabi niya. Kasi, sa totoo lang, very seldom siguro pag kinuwento natin sa ibang tao, kinikwento natin honestly, completely. Di ba, kinikwento natin yung bahagi na naargabyado tayo, pero ano ba yung bahagi natin doon sa sitwasyon na yun? Minsan hindi natin naikikwento. And so, until another would come at may question, tanungin, at ganito, balikan yung mga istorya, hanggang sa lumilinaw, ito pala yung side ng isa. Kaya perception is very important in relationship. Kailangan tama ang pananaw mo sa sitwasyon ng iyong mahal sa buhay. Minsan kaya nakagulo-gulo eh. No? At a meeting of the American Psychological Association, Jack Lipton, a psychologist at Union College, and R. Scott Billion, a graduate student at Columbia University, presented their findings on how members of the various sections of 11 major symphony orchestra perceive each other. 11 sa mga major na orchestra player, anong pananaw nila? The percussionists were viewed as insensitive, unintelligent, and hard of hearing, yet fun-loving. Di ba? Matambol, percussionist eh. String players were seen as arrogant, stuffy, and unathletic. The orchestra members overwhelmingly choose loud as the primary adjective to describe the brass players. Woodwind players seem to be held in the highest esteem, described as quiet and meticulous, though a bit egotistical. Interesting findings to say the least. With such widely divergent personalities and perceptions, how could an orchestra ever come together to make such wonderful music? The answer is simple. Regardless of how those musicians view each other, they subordinate their feelings and biases to the leadership of the conductor. Under his guidance, they play beautiful music. Minsan may kanya-kanya tayong pananaw, di ba? Sa mga tao, sa sitwasyon, pero under God, sa isang lakbayin, sa isang purpose sa buhay, di ba? Di ba? We set aside yung mga differences natin and move on. Recognize your power. That's one strategy of perception. Secondly, steady your nerves. Yung bang hindi ka matinag. Theodore Roosevelt wrote, "What such a man needs is not courage, but nerve control, cool-headedness. This he can get only by practice." No? Cool-headed. Yung may stability sa loob. Yan si Ulysses S. Grant. Yan ang kwento ni Ryan Holiday. Ulysses S. Grant once sat for a photo shoot with the famous Civil War photographer Matthew Brady. The studio was too dark, so Brady sent an assistant up to the roof to uncover a skylight. The assistant slipped and shattered the window. With horror, the spectators watched as shards of glass 2 inches long fell from the ceiling like daggers, crushing around Grant, each one of them plenty lethal. As the last pieces hit the ground, Brady looked over and saw that Grant hadn't moved. He was unhurt. Grant glanced at the hole in the ceiling, then back at the camera as though nothing had happened at all. Parang cool lang, parang walang pakialam. Okay, may nangyari. Okay, sige, tuloy na tayo ulit. And during the Overland campaign, Grant was surveying the scene through field glasses when an enemy shell exploded, killing the horse immediately next to him. Grant's eyes stayed fixed on the front, never leaving the glasses. Now, there's another story about Grant at City Point, Union headquarters near Richmond. Troops were unloading a steamboat and it suddenly exploded. Everyone hit the dirt except Grant, who was seen running toward the scene of the explosion as debris and shells and even bodies rained down. That's a man who had steadied himself properly. That's a man who has a job to do and would bear anything to get it done. That's nerve. Yung steadiness. Steady your nerves. Hindi madaling, hindi uncontrolled yung kanyang emosyon. Parang bang tayo, di ba? Competitors would surround our business. Pagbalik sa atin, unexpected problems, suddenly rear their heads. Our best workers suddenly quit sa ating business. The computer system cannot handle the load we're putting on it. We're out of our comfort zone. The boss is making us do all the work, di ba? Everything seemingly is failing and crashing around us. And so, how will we react? Magtatakbo tayo? Matataranta ba tayo? Or steady lang tayo? Yun yung Psalm 112, verse 1 and verses 4 to 7. Praise the Lord. Blessed are those who fear the Lord, who find great delight in His commands. Pinagpala ang may takot sa Diyos. Verses 4 down. Even in darkness, light dawns for the upright. For those who are gracious and compassionate and righteous. Mayroong liwanag doon sa mga gracious, sa mga maawain. Good will come to those who are generous and lend freely, who conduct their affairs with justice. Surely the righteous will never be shaken. They will be remembered forever. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. So yung mga marunong magtiwala sa Diyos, may takot sa Panginoon, compassionate sa tao, kaya hindi sila natitibag. Hindi sila basta-basta nasisira. No? Si Fred Rogers shared this. Look at this picture. Sabi niya, when I was a boy and I could see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words, and I am always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. Sa gitna ng mga pagsubok, obstacles, trahedya sa buhay, maghanap ka ng mga matulungin na tao. Kita mo, meron lalabas dyan ng mga matulungin na mga tao. Di ba last Sunday, I shared with you na how to help the economy, di ba? Bumili tayo sa seller, tumulong tayo sa mga tao. Di ba, isa sa shinare ko doon, yung bumili ka ng walis sa isang nagtitinda kahit hindi mo kailangan. You know what happened last Monday? Nagana sa sense of humor. Habang inaayos ko po yung baterya ng sasakyan and may ginagawa po ko, bigla pong may nagsumigaw, nag-aalok, walis, ting-ting, tambo, ganon. Kasi dumaan po, narinig ko. So, parang hindi ko masyadong pinansin, pero narinig ko naman. Kaya lang biglang naalala ko yung message last Sunday. Naalala ko nung Monday na yon na, di ba, bumili ka ng walis kahit hindi mo kailangan. Hindi ko naman talaga kailangan eh. So medyo nakalampas na yung babae, tinawag ko ho, at tapos tumawag ko, bumalik naman siya, narinig niya ako. Tapos ang binibenta niya, walis ting-ting, walis tambo, at saka dustpan. Yung binili ko pa. Kahit hindi ko kailangan, at dinoble ko na lang konti yung bayan. Awa man ako yung nanay. Nanay siya, tapos meron lang siya nakapatong sa ulo niya na parang damit, tapos pinapatong niya doon yung kanyang dala-dala na mga walis. Parang naisip ko man nanay ko. Parang nanay ko man ganyan, parang sana, parang may tutulong. So, yun po, yung opportunity to help in the midst of the difficulties and trials in life. Ngayon po, dahil steady tayo, kalmado tayo. Don't forget, Ryan Holiday continued, there are always people out there looking to get you. They want to intimidate you, rattle you, pressure you into making a decision before you've gotten all the facts. They want you thinking and acting on their terms, not yours. So the question is, are you going to let them? Maraming magpe-pressure sa iyo. No? In their terms. Kaya nga yung mga players, di ba, mga players, yung mga individual players, di ba, don't play according to their kumbaga style. Play on your style. Huwag ka sumabay sa kanya. Ikaw, sarili mong laro. No? Ryan Holiday wrote, I want us to see this. When we aim high, pressure and stress obligingly come along for the ride. Stuff is going to happen that catches us off guard, threatens or scares us. Surprises, unpleasant ones, mostly, are almost guaranteed. The risk of being overwhelmed is always there. In these situations, talent is not the most sought after characteristic. Grace and poise are, because these two attributes precede the opportunity to deploy any other skill. Grabe, talagang poise, calmness, steadiness. No, hindi ka natataranta. No, kasi yun ang galing ng isang taong alam niya ang kanyang sitwasyon, alam niya ang kanyang kalalagayan sa buhay. Hindi siya maapektuhan, hindi siya natataranta. Allow me to show you another video clip of the boy who could see with sound. It's a story of a guy named Ben, Ben Underwood, who at a young age nagkaroon ng cancer at completely blind at the age of 3. And so, ang napakaganda ng story hanggang sa interview sila ni Oprah, Oprah Winfrey. And so, maganda po yung story na to na ang dami namang ibang portion na I'd like to just to show this portion na parang uh, may concept po ng lalim sa buhay ng gusto po natin, gusto po mapakinggan po natin. Okay, let's watch the video.
Our guests today have been able to unlock secrets hidden deep within the brain, and their discoveries have helped them to triumph in some miraculous ways. This is the story of Ben Underwood. When Ben Underwood was born, his mother, Aqua, says he was a happy, healthy baby.
Just a great kid. He walked at about 10 months. He was just very coordinated. Ben was the happiest kid in the world.
But when Ben was 2 years old, Aqua noticed something alarming.
I noticed he couldn't see out of the left eye. It had a glow, a marble look, like a cat's eye.
A visit to the doctor brought devastating news.
Ben was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, cancer in both eyes. That was the hardest thing to hear.
4 years later, after the surgery, something astonishing happened to this brave little boy. When Ben was 7 years old, he discovered he had an astounding gift.
I was at camp and I started clicking, and then it became like a navigational tool.
Now, 7 years later, Ben can see the world through the click of his tongue.
By clicking my tongue on the top of my mouth, and it makes a sound, and I hear things around me. I can find people, poles, pillars, walls, openings and doorways, drops on the floor, curbs on the sidewalk, any object that it comes in contact with.
The technical term for Ben's special gift is called echolocation.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
And in that process, it was a wonderful celebration. It wasn't a sad thing. There were about 2,000, maybe 2,500 people at his funeral, every age, every nationality. There was so much love and so much joy in that place that to this day, I'm even still joyful about it. Although I did bury my son, it's not a sad thing because Ben taught me not only how to live, Ben taught me how to die. The doctor came back with the film and he showed me the mass in between the sinus cavity. And he says, looked like his brain was hemorrhaging. Now, at this time, Ben was 15 years old. So Ben got on the phone and started calling his friends. Hey, guess what? I'm in the hospital. My brain's leaking. I said, Ben, baby, you can't tell people that. This could be serious. He said, okay, Mom. I said, no, Ben. I said, baby, this might be cancer again. He said, and? I said, Ben, you might die. He said, you just be ready to meet me there. That's how he handled death. He didn't just die. He put it on and wore it and taught me how to do it. Not once did he say, Mom, I don't want to die. Not once did he cry. He was just someone that was sent here on an assignment. He knew how to live because he didn't see what we looked like. He saw straight to the heart. And he taught me how to die. My advice for anyone raising a blind child, a deaf child, a child with no limbs, whatever the case may be, is to learn from them. They have so much to teach you. Don't be afraid. Let them experience life. We're only going to have one opportunity to live in this world. You'll have one opportunity to be a child.
Grabe rin yung buhay ng bata. Although namatay siya, kaya ang ganda rin sabi ng nanay, don't be afraid to let them experience life. Ben was not afraid to die. Meron siyang purpose na alam niya, ilang years, 17 years old lang siya, natapos na kagad ng kanyang buhay. Pero meron siya nagampanan, meron siya nagawa. Naka-inspired siya ng mga tao. Yung kanyang gifting na siya lang yata meron doon, ang echolocation. Grabe yung nagamit niya itong method na to para maka-inspire dun sa maraming tao may kapansanan. At marami siyang nagawa na normally pag nabalda na tao ay hindi na gagawin. No, he moved on. So once again, write something. Write a note of kung kayo rin ay naka-experience ng ganyan, ng mga challenges sa inyong buhay, and somehow you were able to overcome, right, no? And so, recognize your power, steady your nerves, maging tatag tayo. The last strategy that we will look at today is alter your perspective. Mary Kay Ash, look at this poster, said, aerodynamically, the bumblebee, nasa picture, shouldn't be able to fly. But the bumblebee doesn't know it, so it goes on flying anyway. According to all known laws of aviation, hindi dapat makakalipad ang bumblebee. Dahil yung body weight niya, yung proportion ng body weight niya, at saka ng kanyang wingspan, hindi proportionate. Alanganin. Masyadong maliit yung kanyang wings, yung lapad ng wings niya sa laki ng kanyang katawan. So, hindi dapat siya, lumipad. Kaya lang, hindi alam ng bumblebee na hindi siya dapat lumipad. Kaya, lumipad siya. Because bumblebees don't care what humans think is impossible. Di ba? Minsan yun ang problema ng science puro science, puro facts, na minsan delikado na asan yung pananampalataya. Hindi po puro na lang because of certain facts, gano'n. Kung titignan mo scientifically, hindi dapat makalipad Pero kaso, kinreate sila makalipad. So, in a sense, parang ganun din sa ating buhay. Mga obstacles sa ating buhay, yan ang sa atin na makaangat. Kaya kailangan itama natin ang perception, ang perspective natin. Viktor Frankl, Austrian psychiatrist, wrote, "Man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be, what he will become the next moment. By the same token, every human being has the freedom to change at any instant." May kakayanan magbago, mabagong pananaw, mabagong perspective, ang perception sa buhay, pwede mabago ang buhay. Of course, kailangan magtulong ng Diyos. It goes without saying that in all these changes that we need and all the midst of the all obstacles in life, we need God in all of this. Kwento ni Ryan Holiday, once as the Athenian general Pericles cast off on a naval mission in the Peloponnesian War, the sun was eclipsed and his fleet of 150 ships was cast into darkness. Nagkaroon ng eclipse, dumilim. Surprised by this unexpected and confusing event, his men were thrown into a state of panic. Sobrang dilim, wala sila makita He walked up to a lead steer. Pero si Pericles was undaunted. Hindi siya nabagabang, hindi tibay siya, diretso lang siya. So lumapit siya sa isang lead steersman, removed the cloak he was wearing, and held it up around the man's face. So itinakip yung damit niya sa mukha ng mama. And he asked the man if he was scared of what he saw. Siyempre wala naman siya makita. Siyempre hindi siya matakot. So what does it matter? Pericles replied, when the cause of darkness differs, the Greeks were clever. But beneath this particular quip is the fundamental notion that gears not just Stoic philosophy, but cognitive psychology. Perspective is everything. That is, when you can break apart something or look at it from some new angle, it loses its power over you. Kaya nga, position, mamaya may last na video po tayo, position, napakahalaga, hindi lang perspective, hindi lang po perception, kundi yung posisyon. Fear is debilitating, distracting, tiring, and often irrational. But Pericles understood this completely, and he was able to use the power of perspective to defeat it. Grabe yung mga Greeks, they understood that we often choose the ominous explanation over the simple one to our detriment. Minsan yung highfalutin na explanation, simple lang dapat eh. No? Minsan yun para lalong maintindihan that we are scared of all obstacles because our perspective is wrong. That the simple shift in perspective can change our reaction entirely. The task, as Pericles showed, is not to ignore fear, but to explain it away. Take what you're afraid of when fear strikes you and break it apart. And remember, tandaan mo natin, we choose how we look at things. Tayo kung pumipili, ano bang pananaw ko, anong perspective ko, anong paningin ko. We retain the ability to inject perspective in every situation. Ako yun eh, ano yung nakikita ko? Ano yung aking interpretasyon diyan? Ryan Holiday wrote, again, from the book, we cannot change the obstacles themselves. That part of the equation is set. But the power of perspective can change how the obstacles appear. Yung perspective, parang, anong pananaw mo, anong dating sa iyo ng obstacle? How we approach, view, conceptualize, or contextualize an obstacle, and what we tell ourselves it means determine how daunting and trying it will be to overcome. Kung anong pananaw natin, ganun magiging kahirap o kadali daanan itong mga obstacles na itong problema sa buhay. Ano ang nakikita natin? Talo na ba tayo? No? Psalm 92 verses 12 to 14. The righteous thrive like a palm tree and grow like a cedar tree in Lebanon. Planted in the house of the Lord, they thrive in the courts of our God. They will still bear fruit in old age, healthy and green. The palm tree ang isang matuwid, isang lumalakad sa kaparaanan ng Panginoon, nagiging matibay, parang cedar tree ng Lebanon, matitibay yan. Allow me to share with you a concept of the lotus flower. Some pictures I'd like to show you with quotations in it. Una dito nakalagay, whenever you doubt your self-worth, remember the lotus flower. Even though it emerges from the mud, once it blooms and breaks the surface of the water, the lotus flower is entirely unmarked by the dirt that surrounded it. Grabe, no? Pag-usbong niya mula sa tubig sa mud, hindi siya nabahiran, hindi naninikit ang dirt sa kanya. Yun ang kanyang pananaw sa kanyang sarili. Maputi siya, maayos, makinis siya. Debbie Ford wrote, another poster, like the lotus flower that is born out of mud, we must honor the darkest parts of ourselves and the most painful of our life's experiences because they are what allow us to birth our most beautiful self. Galing sa mud, pag-usbong niyan. Wag mong sayangin, kumbaga, ang kadiliman ng experiences mo sa iyong buhay. Another, just like the lotus, we too have the ability to rise from the mud, bloom out of the darkness, and radiate into the world. May gamit ka. And lastly, there is the mud and there is the lotus that grows out of the mud. We need the mud in order to make the lotus. Kailangan natin ng obstacles para lumabas yung ganda. Sometimes when we are in the dark place, we think we have been buried. But actually, we have been planted. So, paglabas natin, hindi tayo, kumbaga, nanikit sa atin yung dumi. We come out beautiful in the midst of the trials and the obstacles of life. Ryan Holiday, continued, look at this, the right perspective has a strange way of cutting obstacles and adversity down to size. Yung perspective lumiliit, tumatama yung sa tamang pananaw natin, nakikita natin kung gaano ba kalalaki talaga ang problema. Kasi minsan we look at things in isolation. We tend to blow up. Bino-blow up natin, pinapalaki natin. Kumbaga, minamagnify natin yung problema. So the way we look out at the world changes how we see things. And look at this picture of a boy, prosthesis, walang paa. Pero grabing ngiti sa dami ng bag, siguro, I don't know kung bago lahat, iba-ibang klaseng prosthesis. Sabi nga nung poster, his smile is priceless. Lindsay Wagner, an American film and television actress in the past, said, when we shift our perception, our experience changes. Natatama tayo. George Clooney spent his first years in Hollywood getting rejected at auditions. He wanted the producers and directors to like him, but they didn't, and it hurt, and he blamed the system for not seeing how good he was. Oh, grabe ang reklamo niya. This perspective should sound familiar. It is the dominant viewpoint for the rest of us on job interviews, when we pitch clients, or to try to connect with an attractive stranger in a coffee shop. Everything changed for Clooney when he tried a new perspective. He realized that casting is an obstacle for producers too. They need to find somebody, and they're all hoping that the next person to walk in the room is the right somebody. Auditions were a chance to solve their problem, not his. So from Clooney's new perspective, he was the solution. He wasn't going to be someone groveling or begging for a shot. He was someone with something special to offer. He was the answer to their prayers, not the other way around. That was what he began projecting in his auditions. Not exclusively his acting skills, but that he was the man for the job. Ang pananaw niya, ako yung hinahanap nyo. I'm the man for the job. Ako yung makaka-feel nung kailangan nyo ng aktor. That he understood what the casting director and producers were looking for in a specific role, and that he would deliver it in each and every situation, in pre-production, on camera, and during promotion. That's why he became an actor. Sumikat siya. Maraming naging pelikula na gawa. George Bernard Shaw said, better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. I'd like to end with a video clip by Jenny Dees. It's about perception and perspective, at tinagdag niya rin ang position. Maganda po yung insights niya dito. Let's watch.
Hey, what's up, my friends? 2 8 of diamonds, 2 identical 8 of diamonds. Which one do you like better? Do you like this one or do you like this one? Well, let me confess, they're not identical because one's bigger than the other. Can you guess which one it is? Does that make a difference? Look at that. Perception is everything, but more on that after this.
She was Hannah Montana when Bush was president. Thanks, Obama.
Hey, what's up, friends? Thanks for joining me. We're going to cover 3 P's today, but let's start with the first 2, perspective and perception. Now, perception is the way you regard or understand or interpret something. It's a mental impression or process, so it's based on the senses. So what you see, hear, taste, or feel, and what you interpret from that. Perspective is a particular attitude toward a way of regarding something. It's a point of view. So perspective is a result of perception. So perspective, your attitude, is a result of the way you interpret stuff via the senses. So let's go back to our cards. You couldn't really tell which one was bigger because of your perception. You weren't able to correctly perceive the cards. Now let's introduce the third P, position. Had you altered your position, it would have been easier to tell which card was bigger. So, perspective comes from perception, but your perception is influenced by your position. Get it? Simple thought exercise. Your perspective and your perception is everything. I'll give you a short parable. 2 different dogs go into a room on 2 different occasions. One dog enters smiling and comes back out a few minutes later even happier, smiling from ear to ear. An angry dog goes into the same room and a few minutes later comes out growling and furious. Now, somebody standing by sees this happen and they're curious, So they go into the room to figure out what could happen to make one dog so happy and the other dog so furious. So they go in and see that the room is covered from wall to wall in mirrors. And the happy dog went in and saw a bunch of other dogs smiling back at him. And the angry dog went in and saw hundreds of other growling dogs at him and left even more angrier. So what I'm saying is your perception and your perspective play really big roles in the way you operate in this world. So how do you perceive your problems? How do you perceive time? I think it makes a big difference in how we act and how we love our neighbor and demonstrate love to each other.
Ganda ng pag-differentiate niya, no? Perception, the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. Nadadaanan naman natin yung concept, another concept lang ng definition. Perspective is a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something, a point of view. No? Kaya dinifferentiate niya yung perception with perspective. No? Kaya sasabi niya, perspective is a result of perception. No? And perception is influenced by position. That's why there's a big role in how we operate in the world, itong perception and perspective. Kaya, perspective, perception, position, interrelated sa isa't isa. Kaya ang ganda ng last analogy niya, di ba? Yung the dog parable. Pagpasok sa kwarto, yung nakangiti pa rin paglabas. Yung nakasimangot na aso, lalong lagalit dahil yung daming mirror. No, we mirror ourselves. No, sa situation natin, mini-mirror natin, sinasalamin natin ang ating sarili, ang ating attitude, ang ating pagtanggap sa sitwasyon, mini-mirror natin. Kaya lalo, kung maganda, lalong gaganda. No, kaya yun sasabi ng isang video kanina, the more na ma-add on sa'yo, the more nakatanggap ka, the more na makakatanggap ka lalo. Pero pagka mali perception, mali ang perspective sa buhay, paggrabe ng paggrabe, pasama ng pasama. So, yun po ang sanang natutukan natin dito sa pag-aaral na to ng perception, ng strategy, ng pagtagumpay sa ating mga obstacles. Let's pray. Aming Diyos at Panginoon, nagpapasalamat na sa kabutihan at katapatan mo, O Lord God, ay Ikaw ang nagdadirect sa aming buhay. Salamat, O Lord God, sa katunayan ng mensaheng ito sa aming buhay. Ang practicality nito ay aming ma-apply, maisasagawa namin sa aming mga buhay. Magagawa namin, O Lord God, ang nararapat para sa mga hamon, mga obstacles na aming dinadaanan at dadaanan pa sa aming buhay. Maraming salamat sa tulong mo. Maraming salamat sa community na tutulong sa amin. Maraming salamat na may mga taong, Lord God, nagkatuwang namin sa lahat ng aming dadaanan at dinadaanan pa na ngayon sa aming buhay. Salamat, O Lord God, na tama ang aming pananaw, ang aming perception, ang aming paningin, ang aming pagkilala sa kalalagayan na nangyayari ngayon. Salamat, Panginoon, tutulungan mo po kami maitatama ang lahat ng ito upang, O Lord God, tunay na tagumpay ang aming mararanasan. Maraming salamat, aming Diyos. Itong aming panalangin na aming, O Lord God, pagtawag sa iyo sa ngalan ng Jesus. Amen, amen. Nawa na pagpalain kayo ng Panginoon sa itong linggo na to. No? Again, please follow and like our Facebook page, share itong broadcast na to, yung replay nito, pwede nyo i-share doon sa, alam nyo, napakinggan nyo na. So, alam nyo kung kanino pwede makatulong. Subscribe again to our YouTube channel, no, Bread of Life GenSan, and share, write some comments, and write sa ating pong Facebook, share with us your stories. Gusto namin malaman kung paano kayo inaabot ng Diyos, paano kayo nagagabayan sa inyong buhay. So, nawa itong linggo na to na darating, nawa na baon-baon nyo po itong mga mensahe o mga statements o mga insights na ninyo napakinggan ngayon. Dala-dala po natin yan sa pagharap natin sa panibagong week na to. Kasama natin ang Panginoon. Katuwang naman natin ang Diyos at kasama rin natin ang ilang mga taong tumutulong sa ating buhay. God bless po, and may the Lord be with you in your undertakings.